Yo,
Yo, yo. What is up? It's been a busy week. We're doing a lot of work on the back end. Yeah, I don't know. What's new with you?
I don't know. I went today to get some like blood work done, and I don't know why, but I'm like very kind of sus about it. Like I get real fainty. I don't know why, but it's been a thing lately. Whenever I have to do it, I feel like real bad, and I think it's just mental or old age. I don't know which one.
I mean, it's probably mental. I hate getting blood drawn as well, so I feel you.
Is what it is. Anyway, we got this. So I got a Mac Mini, obviously, and let me tell you. After our last discussion, I understand why you would want to run Claw on a Mac Mini instead of trying to do it on a VPS, just because it was like 10 times easier to make it work. It's just in my local network. I can like plug in my screen and like configure it real easy, and it's powerful, so it can run all the Chrome instances we need without like getting hung up. So it's been really good. I even like gave our guy is called Buddy. He has like this dog icon. He's a good boy. So I gave him like his own little 1Password profile, so he can like if I share a password with him, he can like log in and wreak havoc. You know?
Wreaked havoc is the right term, man. Okay, so for context on this, we basically added this buddy guy to our Slack, and now we keep talking to him, asking him to do things. And Buddy likes to talk, man. Like I have a MacBook, and like whenever he talks, it's just a whole screen just full of text. He gets things done, but he's a very talkative individual. But besides that, what have you been setting him up to do? Like what is your open clawing on your behalf?
So I set it up to QA all the things overnight, so that basically it logs into. So first of all, we set up these automatic staging environments. So if we push a new feature, each feature gets its own URL. So then Buddy can overnight open Chrome, log in, like check the PR, what we changed, and just like poke around and see if it's working, and then submit a QA report with screenshots. And then at least we know when we test it before the final deploy, we know it's like worth our time, because previously on more than one occasion we'd be like, okay, time to test this, log in, first thing you try, immediately broken. Like, did anybody look at this before or what?
Yeah, I've been in that boat a lot of times. I remember you're like, yo, please QA this, and I push it off because I'm like busy with something. So I come to QA something tomorrow. So I open up and it's just like I can't access, like just logging in is error 500, and that's it. I'm done. And I'm like, so I didn't get around to do this until today, and nothing's working. Can you please look into it?
Yeah. So now we have that first pass QA. It's updating PRs with like latest code from master, like resolving conflicts and stuff. So that's good. It's all like very developer-y stuff, and like more realistic is so I gave it access to some advertising stuff we're running. Did this whole like Google access where you create like your own OAuth application, and then you give it permission. So let's say, I want you to read Search Console and Google Analytics, and then because he has data from like other places like Reddit and stuff, so he can pull in all the data from like APIs and MCPs, and then give good insights based on the data from like multiple sources. Whereas like all these tools, including, because everybody has their own little agents, including Google, you can ask it stuff, but it's all in vacuum. And it's the same for like our agent that we have in Wayfront. I think it's like not that useful if you can pull the data locally, give it your skills, because the skills, that's a big thing as well. It's like, this is how we do things in our company, and without it, it's just one shot. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. There's like no feedback loop, and then it's kind of useless without that.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. It sounds like it's doing a lot of stuff. It is. I mean, from our end, from my end at least, it's helping. The QA thing that you mentioned is extremely beneficial for me because I've had to re-QA things. Like, I would QA like an entire, like, guys, just for context, again, for like the normal person, whenever we're releasing something, anything that we release usually has some kind of correlation to other features and other things that we're doing. So whenever you release something, you have to QA all of that. Anything related to that new feature has to be QA'd. So I would go in and I would spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours QAing, and I would find something that's broken, and then I have to QA the whole thing again. But with this, it's just like the guy is QAing stuff, make sure everything's cool, and then I go in and I do the final QA. And then if something's broken, I make notes, I make comments, the guys fix it, I QA again. So it becomes like a 1 or 2 QA thing rather than me having to QA the same thing 10 times. So it's huge. For me, for my workload, it's been massive. No, wait, before we move on, I do want to ask, what other things are you doing with OpenClaw? Like, so basically my question is for the layman, for the normal person who is not tech savvy and developing like me, what have you benefited from by implementing OpenClaw rather than just using regular AI MCPs or like CLIs?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think, like, you got to be real technical to set it up, even on a Mac Mini, I feel, because it is kind of still kind of jank, you know, because like all of these places, so they have like APIs, right? Like we have our APIs, and then you have to register for developer access to get credentials and all this stuff. It's not yet intended for the end user to like pull Google data easily. So it's like imagine you have to log into Google Cloud the first time. It's a disastrous. Like their UIs are always a disaster. So you never know what exactly you have to do. Yeah, for let's say for like our customers, for agencies, the best solution, just download Cloud Desktop and say, hey, install this Wayfront MCP, and that's it. It's very easy. It'll open up a window. You click authorize. That's it, and then you could do the same for like a couple other MCPs or data sources that you have, and get some good insights from it. And then the other thing is skills. So for example, like I mentioned, this is how we do things in this company, where you set up a skill that says, okay, review the messages. This is the kind of tone we're going for. This kind of message means it has to be escalated to like a higher level person, or essentially do a little bit of a like QA on what's going on in the agency. Like follow along, make sure things are moving, make sure clients are not sad. So the benefit with like OpenClaw is you could do a scheduled job and like run it at night or every hour or every 20 minutes. But then now you can do it in Cloud Desktop too. So there's not, I think Anthropic is on purpose trying to like clone all the features of OpenClaw.
They're probably trying to bridge the gap so that, as you said, the people who are less technical can still use it. Because, dude, I look at, like, I remember when OpenClaw started to become a thing, and I was, like, looking at it, and I'm like, dude, this does not make any sense to me. And I'm tech savvy. I'm just not technical. I'm very tech savvy. I'm not technical. And it still was, like, very confusing for me. So I imagine that if, like, Bob is just hanging out and he sees OpenClaw and he's like, I can't do anything with this. I don't know what any of this means. So bringing it to the app makes Bob able to do whatever he wants to do directly in the app.
And then you can also use your like Pro Max subscription legally, because like if you have to pay for the API, right? Because for OpenClaw, you in theory you have to run it on the API key instead of on your subscription, and those API requests are expensive. So you like realize the true cost of like, oh, we're spending like $50 per day on it right now.
Damn.
In theory. Right? But
okay.
I'm running it through the sub. Don't tell anyone.
Wait, so you have like a different way where you can like run it through the sub?
You can, but like supposedly you're not supposed to do that.
Nice. So we get busted and we lose Buddy. Homie goes away.
Buddy can also run on Codex or whatever. Doesn't matter. On Grok. Buddy can start like spewing conspiracy theories.
Yeah, Grok is the expert at that.
All right, so that's been pretty good. You know, we're doing this so that you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, what else is new other than AI stuff? Because I feel like our last conversation was also mostly AI stuff. So what else is what is happening? What's going on? Like, what is? Let's talk about maybe the email stuff. Email stuff we've been having has been very interesting recently.
Yeah, some people have apparently been getting our stuff in their spam a little bit, you know, which is, I think, fair. It's just a matter of time until Google sort of realizes that we're a legit sender, because that reputation you build up over time, and it's the same for agencies where that's why we don't allow anyone to sell any kind of cold emails or mass emails to all their list, is because it would just like hurt deliverability for your domain. But I don't know. We're keeping an eye on it. We're following best practices. Anybody is welcome to reply to that email to like get us out of the spam. You know, and some people have done, which I appreciate. It's been helpful. So anytime you reply, Google is like, okay, this must be legit. You know, you wouldn't be replying to a spammer. And then the other thing we did also is when the support widget now, it just shows you the email address, so you can email us and then we reply, and then it's less likely to go to spam. Whereas if you fill out a widget and we reply and the subject says whatever question, it's like I never sent that email, must be spam.
Makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's been interesting with the emails. The deliverability has been questionable. I feel like right now, after the rebrand, we're in this phase where it's like we're taking like a little bit of a dip, and it's like a little bit harder to get the emails delivered. It's we're struggling with Google. After like a couple of weeks, hopefully in like 2 or 3 episodes, we'll come back and be like, dude, this has all been resolved, and we're now like we're good. We're floating, you know, all is good. But it's been a month, and Google is still like, who the hell are these guys? You know, like it's not as smooth as you'd expect it to be. Like it should be smoother than this.
I know, right? Well, we just gotta be a little bit patient, that's all. Even with all this, still been worth it to rebrand and just to have like proper brand keywords. Because before that, brand keywords, SPP, so many SPPs. We have to add negative keywords. No power, no utilities, no electricity, because there are a bunch of companies with like providing utilities with SPP. Yeah, and now it's very, I don't know, maybe even we could see Wayfront and Google Trends, I wonder.
Google Trends? That would be very cool.
I wonder what the volume for that is.
Well, let's see. We'll find out together with the homies here. I would like to report that I think the answer to that is no, you will not see it on Google Trends.
Maybe later.
Yeah, that was optimistic. It's a little bit too soon for that. Let's try again. Again, in a couple of weeks, we'll come back and be like, everything is good, guys. Everything is cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the rebrand, I do agree, was definitely 100% worth it, man. Like, now we have this, like, individual brand identity. We're not competing with your local electricity company or plumbers. So it's you know, it's a definite improvement with the identity for sure.
Yeah. What else are we working on?
Man, we're working on a lot of things. If your question is what are we working on, we're working on so much stuff all the time. Like, I can't even keep up with how many things we're doing. Like, every day I have to do like 25 different things. There's so much to do.
Right, yeah.
It's mostly features, though. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, one thing I just cooked up was a little agency analytics clone in the portal. So all that. Not making any promises yet, because think it has some rough edges right now, but it is fixable, and we might have something. It would probably have to be like a paid little feature, because each of the domains you add and how many keywords you add, we use an external API for that, and it costs money. But yeah, it would be anyway like 10 times cheaper than agency analytics.
That's not a difficult benchmark to beat. Agency analytics is very expensive.
Okay, maybe like 50 times cheaper. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so it costs money per domain that somebody adds?
Yes, yeah. Because you have like rank tracking, like keyword search volume. What else do you have? Website audit. All the typical stuff that clients would want to see, really. Like
Very
SEO
cool.
clients. Now, I wonder about our other customers who do different kind of things, not necessarily SEO. So this would have to be like a module that you opt into if you want.
Makes sense. I mean, I don't know, different niches will always have these like different requirements, and like for example, I think editors, video and photo editors would have a blast with like some kind of annotation tool. But you know, one thing at a time, one experiment at a time. Right now we'll work on this, maybe later on we'll work on something else, but you know, we'll see. As we'll see how this does. If it's helpful and we could build something, then we could probably do more later on.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder what could we remove? You know, if we keep adding stuff onto it at some point. But then maybe that's not a concern even, because you can just be like, buddy, set up Wayfront for me. Like, I don't know, nothing. And the good thing about Claw as well is it has our stuff documented, right? Like our ICP, our keywords, who we're targeting, what's working, what's not working, all the things are on the server, like documented. And so when I ask it to like, okay, let's set up a new SaaS tool, let's say, it already knows enough about us to do it. I don't have to start from scratch in a different kind of UI and describe from scratch. Okay, this is our website, this is what we do, you know.
I mean, yeah, no, I did use something similar recently with Claude, where I was able to like populate a workspace for one of my videos, and yeah, it has all the info. Like, he knows what we do, he knows what kind of services we sell, so he was able to like populate it with actual things that make sense considering who we are and what we do. And it was like, it saved me a bunch of time. Again, it's just time savings is what I keep coming back to with AI. I'm able to be a lot more efficient. That's pretty much it. I did want to reply, sorry, before I forget. You asked the illegal question that you can't really ask, especially in a public setting like this, which is, what features do we remove? The answer to that is always none, because you can't. The moment that you remove something, if there's one person using it, they're going to be upset, and it's not going to be fair. Now, if we find a way to see what adoption percentages we have for certain features, and no one's using something, although I doubt that that's a thing, then we would be able to remove it. But I don't think there's a single feature that we have that nobody is using.
True, because everything was built for someone, right? But
exactly.
Like what we often do is just like hide it. Still there, and then we hide it, and maybe that one person using it churns.
I mean, what feature do we have that is hidden? Can you think of anything? I mean, I know we have a couple of integrations that are not like public, but that's because they're not fully polished. Really? I think, isn't it like two? I can think of two. Do we want to mention them? We could mention them. No, okay, don't mention them. But yeah, I can think of two. I can't think of any more. You can tell me later.
Yeah. Well, I think integrations is another interesting topic where do you really need them anymore? If everything has its own little MCP or API or whatever, just use it directly.
I mean, you still have people who don't know how to do any of that. And you, even more importantly, have people who are not interested in knowing how to do any of that. Like, some people just want to get stuff done. You know, they want to go in, click a button, and they want things to work. And integrations do that. But what could be a lot easier is building these integrations.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah, like I was saying, like if you're on some level, if you're not concerned about this, I'm concerned. You know, you gotta be concerned. Everybody has to be concerned right now, you know.
What exactly are you concerned about? Elaborate.
So like my concern is around the whole market of like jobs. What happens when everybody's like insanely productive? We have Mac Minis delivering services, building features, doing all this stuff. Where does a human remain in this chain? And like big picture, it does feel like there's just not going to be that many jobs anymore. Or like what will so many people do? Because there's not enough stuff to do, you know.
I mean, look, here's the thing. I feel like, yes, always, we are going to be able to get to a point where AI is going to be pumping out so much stuff that it's going to replace a bunch of jobs for sure. I think we're already starting to see that with entry-level jobs especially, because in a lot of fields, entry level right now can be handled by Claude. You could just be like, yo, here. It's not even open Claude, it's just regular Claude. You could just ask it for things and you're going to get results that an entry level person would do, which is very difficult. And I really dislike that part of AI myself, because I feel like it's a very difficult topic to navigate, especially for all the fresh graduates, because I was there 5 years ago. But even with that, I feel like we still cannot just have AI do things unsupervised and just let it do things. And I feel like where you're gonna excel and where the jobs, like people are gonna get to keep their jobs, are people who are gonna be able to use AI, output really efficiently, and also supervise the AI to make sure that he's doing the things that you need him to do correctly. Because you cannot just be like, yo, handle this and just dip. Like you're still gonna have to do, but there will be manual input no matter how good AI gets. You will still need to give it like an oversight. You need to be able to review everything, and just one person usually will not have the time to do that.
Well, I guess it depends on your philosophy. Like, yes, we want oversight because like our stuff is kind of important, I would say. You know, people depend on it working. But then if you have like some kind of low stakes type of service or product, what if there's no oversight? You know, all you really need is a incentive and a feedback loop. Because like what it's gonna do is, okay, I have to like reach this CTR on these ads. Let me keep improving and iterating until it's perfect. The goal is met, regardless of what is on the ad. And that's how you get like false advertising, probably. Whatever is clickbaity enough, yeah.
I mean, in some situations, yeah. When you don't need oversight and something doesn't have high stakes, then yes, it's gonna be really difficult. I don't know. I'm very torn, and I've been torn. I've been like very open about this from the beginning of us starting to use AI. I'm not sure how I feel about AI myself in the grand scheme. I can tell you that right now I'm kind of getting more okay with it, and I'm using it more because I'm able to up my productivity, and I'm just doing my job way better because of AI or with AI. But overall, as Alex, as a human being, as me, I kind of dislike AI because I dislike what it's doing to the industry and what it's doing to jobs and what it's doing to people. And that part, I don't know how I feel about or how I could change, and I don't know how it will affect us or me in the long term.
Yeah, nobody knows what. Yeah, it's just all speculative. But then, on the positive side, I was looking for some SEO help, and obviously we have all these SEO agencies. So it's like work with a person or the agency with like a good reputation where you know they're like legit, they've been around, and that is still like, yeah, I could get AI to pump out some reports or give some advice, but I'm kind of like willing to pay money for the judgment or like to be. You know, this is a big deal. I don't want to blindly follow some suggestions that are like completely wrong. So sometimes, you know, like you pay a little bit of money to de-risk the decision, you know, and get somebody like an actual expert on it instead of like winging it and hoping for the best.
Again, with small risk things, we're back to the same conversation with something that is small risk. So you're running, let's say, Reddit ads. You can have Claude generate you some ads based on the knowledge that it has. You run it, it doesn't work. You lost $20. No big deal, right? But with something like SEO, you can't just YOLO that crap. You need somebody who has experience. You need somebody who understands the field that you're in. You need somebody who understands what you're selling so that they're able to make things work how they need to. And AI will not be able to do that because it can only refer to knowledge that it already exists. And knowledge that already exists is not going to be specific to you. It's going to be for everyone. It's a blanket skill. At least for now. Again, maybe we're going to have AIs who are going to be like, you want me to invent the moon? Yes, of course, I can do that. And it just happens, you know?
Did you hear about the guy whose dog had cancer and he asked ChatGPT to come up with a cure? Basically, that's the gist of it.
Yes, and how did that go? I did not hear about that, no, but how did it go?
So based on what I heard, was it on Twitter or somewhere, it worked out nicely. Like, he had the genome sequence, so he put it into AI. It spit out like what is the problem, correlated some like existing medicines, and it was just like a matter of getting acceptance from somebody to, let's try these medicines on this dog who's already dying anyway. Maybe it works out. This kind of deal.
No chance.
I should find a source for this.
Yeah, that sounds like
It sounds made up, right?
Yeah, that sounds made up, man. Like, I was looking for the family-friendly word to say. That does not sound like something legit. Even if it is, even if this actually happened, there is no confirmation that it actually worked, right?
So, wait, I found a University of Cambridge article. Okay. Experts clarify viral claim ChatGPT did not create dog cancer cure.
Right. I'm happy to hear.
But what did it actually do? I don't know. There's too many ads to see.
Bruh. You ever heard of this great technology called AdBlock? It's incredible.
Yeah, it prevents scrolling. Probably like hides some overlay. I think like the concept of that is essentially sometimes you have the data, so you just have never spent the time or money to look at it, because in the past it cost money to look at the data, to hire like a data scientist who writes like Python scripts or PyTorch or all this. Nobody cares about that anymore. You just pipe it into AI and ask it.
Well, I don't know. Again, it's all about, I think the best thing that you can do as a person, just like based on this conversation that we're having, is if you are at a job that is at potential chance of being AI-ified, your best bet is to learn how to use AI the best way that you can so that you become invaluable. That is the way.
Have you heard of the 10x developers kind of meme?
Tell me more.
So in the coding world, there used to be a legend of you hire a person, a guy, and he's like a 10x developer. So because he gets done like 10 times more stuff than anybody else. And yeah, that was, I guess, true in the past, but now with the help of AI, you can get like 100x developers. So those people who are like smart and really capable will excel anyway, just at a much, much larger scale. That's the idea. Now like normal people are seeing, oh, it is possible to like 10x your productivity and work on like 5 windows at once because the chat is churning into each one and you feel all this like great productivity. Question is, what is the output? Are we really shipping like so much more good stuff? Is it really that great? Are we fixing more bugs? You know, that's the output is like, I don't think it's like 1-to-1 correlated with how good it feels. Because a lot of it is, I think, like people just, I'm going to build for the sake of building. And does it translate into actual like marketable value? Probably, maybe not in all cases.
I saw a post recently that what you just said reminded me of, which is basically like with AI being as capable as it is, there are so many people who are starting these like agencies and businesses with AI. And it showed like a picture of like a door. Businesses started with AI and there's like so many people walking through it. But then it showed another door with like like the actual value that you're getting out of these businesses, and it's just empty. Because like, yeah, there's 1,000 businesses that do 10,000 different things now, but none of them are actually good if they're purely using AI, because they're just recycling the same stuff that already exists. So you end up with no customers, you end up with no revenue. Yeah, you made a business, congratulations, but no one's buying from you because in no way are you different than the other. You're a part of an oversaturated market because it's just the same. Everyone has the same stuff if they're using AI.
Yeah. Dude, imagine if one company had Claude and nobody else had it. They'd be...
Oh, dude, that's over. That's game over. That's done.
Exactly. But now everybody has it. So, yeah.
I do think the value is there because you were saying that you don't know if like the output is actually correlated. I think that it is because, again, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm like not as technical as you guys because you and team are very technical. But like for me, I'm just seeing things happening, like and things are just like, yo, someone asked for this. You're like, okay, and then this now exists in like an hour. I'm like, damn, this would have taken like 3 days before. Now I just have to QA it. Oh, it works. Nothing's broken. The buddy already QA'd it as well. And it's just it happens. Like things just work, and it's a lot faster, and we're able to do a lot more of the things that people are asking for. Like now, actually, with the conversation that we were having earlier, I was thinking instead of removing, we need to figure out how to categorize things better, because now we can add so many new features over time. We just need to figure out how to categorize it so that people are not like getting overwhelmed with what they're looking at when they look at things that don't matter to them. We need to make sure that they're only looking at things that are important to them. Just because there are so many features doesn't mean that you need to be overwhelmed. You just need to figure out the balance between that, you know?
Yeah. I guess this is where kind of features without UI really come into play, where the base product is simple, everything you've dreamed of. You log in, you see like 3 tabs, it's clear what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But then, obviously, as anybody realizes, the simple tools are simple for a reason because they're like mass appeal, they're like not very specialized, and then you have specialized needs, so you start expanding on those needs, and then it becomes like very specific. And that all is like, oh, that's why you have like 5 configuration options on the surface, because different kind of businesses. So if all of that was sort of a hidden layer, which you could unlock just by saying, okay, this is what I want. And there's like no UI hassle to build it or to understand what each button does. You just say what you want and it works. That'd be great. I think that's probably the future.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could even have it like be literally just a chatbot. Like if you need something, you just click on the chatbot like, yo, I need this and that. And then the chatbot tells you, oh, we have this, that it exists. You can go enable it here. And instead of everything being shown, we could do that approach first. So the first thing is you talk to the bot, and the bot tells you if this exists or not, instead of you having to go look for it and like manually reach out. Maybe.
I was just trying out Canva for some AI design stuff, and it's sort of like, I think we suffered from this as well, where there's the chat, I'm all excited, let me try this AI feature, and it's like underwhelmingly not feature complete, or like it cannot do that much stuff. Like I want you to design it with this font, this background, this color, and it's like, I cannot help you with this request at this time. Like, bruh, I had my hopes up.
Maybe not do things for you, but rather just tell you that things are doable. Like, we have a feature for this. Go do it.
Yeah.
You can set it up through here. Here's the help doc for it. Like, I'm talking if we end up with so many features that we don't know where to put them on the UI, right? Like, we hide them and we just make them accessible through the bot. Like, if you need something, click on me kind of thing. You click on it, you explain what you need, and the bot then gives you, this feature exists. You could use it this way.
So many possibilities to do all kinds of things.
Only time can tell, man. Like, with all this stuff and how fast the industry's changing and how fast things are moving and the rebrand, we need to give it some time and we need to let things settle. Or, because I don't think anything's gonna settle, we need to ride on that wave. That's what we're gonna have to do.
we gotta keep cooking and then realize that maybe this was like, it's not a thing anymore. Maybe MCPs nobody cares about anymore, you know? Just different kind of things, right?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of work. But the settling that definitely needs to happen is the rebrand. We definitely need to let that settle. The rebrand has been different. It's changed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I think I still keep finding like different places where, oh, we have to update the logo here, or like change the email there, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So lesson learned is like, come up with a good name from the start, you know?
That is a helpful lesson. Thank you. I will consider that when I'm starting my business.
Yeah.
I'm sure when you were starting Wayfront /SBP, you were like, SBP is gonna sound really questionable in like 10 years. You know, like there's no way for you to know. You gotta YOLO it. You said it yourself. You literally YOLO'd the name back then, right? Or how did you say?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's probably like the people who start businesses are like not very deep thinkers. They're more like that. That's me. Like I'm just okay. Let's try it. You know, let's do it. Whereas like if you think about it too hard, you just think yourself out of it.
True. And also another thing that's worth considering is that when you're starting a business, you're not necessarily planning or thinking that this is going to be a 10, 15 year, 20 year thing. You're like, I'm going to start it and see what happens, right? And then what happens is it worked and now you have SPP for 10 years.
Yeah, but today is also, the timescales today are way compressed. I think you can start an agency and like see whether it's going somewhere in months, not years. And the other
it's
thing
not
is,
as difficult as it used to be.
people starting agencies now are kind of much smarter, where in the past they would like cobble together some things, do things manually, and now they're coming to us with like a brand new business and they want to set things up properly from the start, where in the past we'd be like, nah, you don't need all of this right now, like you just got a few clients. But if they like treat it seriously, they're thinking about the future, about like, I will not want to migrate my stuff, that's going to be difficult. I will not want to rebrand. I will not want to redo my accounting. I want everything to be like properly like separated between different businesses and stuff like that. So they're like, there's so much information out there about what happens when you get like acquisition offers as an agency. For example, like they're going to evaluate whether you have like 80% of your revenues coming from like key clients. That's going to be a risk. That's going to reduce your valuation. So these people they're not selling the custom stuff that's super expensive. They're selling all the small little services that compound. So you think about all these things in advance with so much information being out there, where I think it like sets people up well for the future. You don't have to like repeat the mistakes that like my generation made over and over again. And maybe now the mistakes are different.
Definitely they are. There's no way that you are going to avoid mistakes, but people are a lot more prepared. Like I've seen this as well, like what you're talking about, when they come into a call, even brand new agencies, they're willing to invest, they're willing to put in the money from the beginning and like get a portal set up and get everything set up correct, so that when they start generating proper income, they don't have to worry about migrating all of this data from one place to another. So people are definitely a lot more educated on how to start a business now than they used to be in the past. And I'm even comparing like 5 years ago when I first started with Wayfront. Like things have changed with these demo calls, man. People know what they're looking for.
Yeah. I imagine a lot of it is also like, you can do software research. Just ask your buddy, you know. Because in the past you'd be like, software for this, go find like 10 alternatives, like then make like a pros and cons list or whatever. Then present it to your manager or whoever is the big shot pulling the trigger on the purchasing decision, you know. And now this as well has been compressed. It's like, I need this tool for this. It's the best option. These are the features. It's going to be a good fit. And as far as SEO, I think that's probably the feature for that industry, right? Where it's all like AI optimization. How do we get our product mentioned?
Definitely.
And one thing I really love is that Google, everybody's no longer fully dependent on Google. because we all were for like, I don't know, long time, for 20 years. Will they send us traffic for people like searching for stuff or not? And now we're dependent on Anthropic.
No, we're dependent on all AIs, man. No one's Googling anything. When was the last time you Googled something?
Yeah.
Like,
no.
it's...
Maybe
like,
Google Maps.
Yeah, no, Google Maps is fine. But, like, I wouldn't Google, like, a question. I no longer ask questions on Google. I used to, like, if I'm looking for something specific, yeah, I'd Google it, right? Like, if I know X, I'm looking for X, I would Google X. Yeah. But if I wanted to ask a question, like, yo, what is the best way that I can do this or that? What is the best service that gives me this? How do I get this done the easiest way possible? It's just so much easier to talk to an AI and ask them this question because it's going to understand your need and give you an actual recommendation based on that need.
This is something we also changed in our positioning, where it is more problem focused, or like instead of the solution focused, where like an established category would be looking for a CRM tool. A newish category like productized service platforms, like Wayfront. People are more searching for I'm selling these service packages and I'm wondering how to automate the client flow from billing to, like, it's not, it is very like the questions are more realistic or more conversational, and it's more focused on, this is the job to be done, I want the solution to do this job for me, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Being problem focused, or sorry, solution focused, is a lot better, because with all of these AIs scraping and reading and doing everything, that's the only way that you're gonna stand out with the AI, which, I mean, makes sense because you are doing this. If you don't do this, like if you don't actually do if you don't position yourself correctly, AIs will never find you. So you're doing this great job and no one's ever finding you because everyone's asking AI now.
Yeah, I did a positioning deep dive, like when I was looking for a copywriter for a new website, for like, how do you do positioning? And then found like a couple agencies. Then I learned, oh, there's this term for it called PMM, product market messaging. And then, but that came only like after pretty deep research. And then, okay, now I know the term. Now I can search PMM agencies, stuff like that. So it is a whole, like, you gotta go through that research before you even realize, oh, there's a whole category for this thing that I was looking for. And that makes it easier.
Yeah, I mean, of course there's a category for everything that you ever need to do. There will be a category for it. So yeah, no, that makes sense.
I guess you're right, yeah. We should end with a topic that's not AI related at all.
Gas prices, am I right?
And a topic that is also not political or politically charged.
Okay, so I'm just gonna hang up and stop the recording, alright? See you guys. These are the things that are prevailing in the world that we live in right now, man. It's either politics, things are going crazy, it's either AI, or people running out of jobs because of AI. So,
Dude, is there really no non-AI updates out there? Apparently not.
I don't think so, man. Like I would like to talk about something else, but this is it. This is what's happening. If the objective, sorry, English just ran away from me. If the objective of the podcast is talk about what's happening and talk about what's going on around us and in our field, this is it. Right now, it's always gonna be AI, man. For a while.
For now.
No. Is there anything big coming in soon? Anything cool coming in? Wayfront related, maybe?
Alright, so we can end on a positive note where, let us know if you want write access to MCP so that we can enable it for you. And if you want to like YOLO it, maybe that's not something we want to give to everyone right off the gate, because like people will, get wrecked. And the other thing is, if you want to try that built-in agency analytics alternative, also let me know, because I think I'm like confident that we can ship it. It's like so close to done. But no guarantees, obviously.
So it's a little like little insider testing for anyone who got this far into the podcast. You get these couple of new things that you can try out. Just hit us up.
Yeah. So on that, we can call it a day. See you later.
Peace.
Thanks for listening.